So this was the third and the fourth game that I actually casted that I wrongly announced at the first and second game. And this is the second game now, so we go backwards. On Dusty Grounds. I have no idea who chooses this map now. And I was wrong about the map choice before then as well. Or I think it were all from the champion. If it's Morax, then from Morax. And only the first game was from SilverKronos. Okay, so interesting map, only 2 mass extractors and some mass here. Quite a few stones lying around everywhere. And especially here on the mountain, Tax 3 wreckage, I think. Tax 3 HQ, so really much mass compared to the total mass on this map. Not too many mass extractors, so this mass is worth really much. And usually one player will get it first. I think I have not ever seen people contesting for it, like both dropping or something like that. I think it's always one person makes the transport and gets it, and then he will probably have a few less land units, so he needs to be careful when to make the transport and when he should rather not make transport, maybe need to make some bomber to support his land force and later makes the transport a bit later. So Morax going without power, directed to the Hydro, and SilverKronos is making quite a lot of power. I think that's not sure if that's so good because he doesn't really have mass to use so much power. And he will get the Hydro late. I think what Morax does is better. Maybe if he would have a lot of mass, then it would make sense to build so much power, so he could use it. But even so, there is some reclaim. I'm not sure if it's... Morax already has his Hydro now and can start building his factory. While SilverKronos is only making the Hydro very slowly with one engine. And the issue now it's okay for him, and he could also make a second factory, but the problem is once the Hydro is done, then he will let lots of power and he will have issues to spend it. Looks like he is going both are going for so far only land. And little raiding coming from Morax. Protection tanks just a tiny bit too late to protect the engineer. So first little victory for Morax, 1 kill. Oh, I think this got a kill. And not much of expansion going on otherwise. Morax attempting to send the engineer to the center to reclaim the wreckage. Not sure how much that is, maybe 300 mass or something. So quite a bit was going for, but also no, not incredibly important. And Morax is choosing to put his ICU at the bottom, and it's also a lot earlier with his ICU in the center because he already saved time while walking to the Hydro, while SilverKronos still needed to walk from his base. And starting to make a point defense here, so that's not sure if I agree to that one. Like, I think it's rather very defensive, and he's deciding, like, instead of the point defense he could have 1 factory more, so he will have basically 1 factory less, and that means he will have less units and lose map control, and his point defense is not really going to help him if he loses map control in the long term. But maybe he made some bad experience with people rushing the commander to the Hydro and reclaiming it. But I think the investment of it is making more damage to him than it will protect him. Because now you can see he's already lacking a lot of units, and Morax already with 4 land factories while SilverKronos is still on 2. So double amount of land factories, which is really a big difference in units. And as long as he doesn't waste any units into the ACU, and ruins his unit advantage, there is not really any way SilverKronos can anymore actually even do anything right now. He will probably lose the whole map control, and on this map, the map controls so much in the center that if you lose some of it, you will have only 4 Mass Extractors left, and 4 Mass Extractors is not very much to make a comeback with, and it's very hard to produce enough units to ever get back in unit production once you are behind. So 3 factories now to 5 factories soon for Morax. Even so he's stalling, so it's more like 4 factories, this one doesn't count as long as he's stalling. And SilverKronos also moving the ACU to the bottom position. I think it's maybe better to move the ACU here, but only as long as I still reclaim, then it's worth it. Because you get 2 Mass Extractors here, but you also get 2 Mass Extractors under control here with the ACU. So it's still kind of the same, but Morax is going to decide to take the opportunity, seeing that SilverKronos has not many units, so he is going for a push right now, trying to kill him or at least take as much damage as possible, but he's going to experience a little surprise because there will be a point that is actually going to get some shots off. I didn't thought it would, but while he's trying to take it with 3 tanks, I don't think that's a very good idea. It wasn't as quickly directly retreated, but decisive victory from Morax. Even so he didn't kill him. Now SilverKronos' ACU is so low that he can basically not go anywhere without being afraid of dying. So now he will have less units and no ACU anymore, and that means he pretty much has nothing left. The only thing he has is his point defense that will protect him for a while. So he's not going to lose his base, but he likely is going to lose all his map control unless Morax does a mistake of trying to brute force too much here now and giving up map control and all of this. Oh, and if SilverKronos reacts fast enough, he could raid all Mass Extractors and then make map control even again. So he's trying to get another point defense. I don't think he can afford that. Well, he can as long as he's reclaiming here a bit, but he should probably rather get another factory or repair that point defense. But it's not going to help him to have a very secure base if he will face 3 times the amount of units. And so Morax now starting to lose the control to the mistake of having all units on one side, where they couldn't do any damage, but SilverKronos being very content just taking this Mass Extractor. I think what would be right is he's afraid to lose his units because he got no intel, but what he should do is like split 2 tanks and try to raid that. So if Morax got units there, then only 2 tanks will die, but if he doesn't, then you will still kill the Mass Extractor. So it's a very low risk, but a good reward situation where you don't invest much. And he kind of needs to do some risks, because if he won't take any risk, he's already pushed back completely in his base due to his build order pretty much, without any other reason, then he won't really have any way to win the game. Maybe he could try to make an air factory, he also make a lot of power again, and then try to get this reclaim, and if he gets that, he will have mass for a while to fuel his economy again without map control. While Morax went tech 2 now. It's I think also he should go air, and he started one, but he decided against it. But this is just too good to ignore, and especially if you can, like Morax can easily afford to go in right now without dying, without any risk, and then he can use the mass here easily for tech 2 to produce lots of tech 2 units. Without that mass, it will take a bit longer to have the critical amount of tech 2 units. But pretty much what I expected is happening with the start. SilverKronos never is able to produce enough units again. He can only produce, like, in the best case, as many units as Morax, and that's just not enough to take control back. He can only have little skirmishes here, but he won't actually be able to push out of his base again. And as longer as it takes, then Morax unit advantage will get bigger and bigger. And he only got a little amount of units because he went tech 2. Once the first tech 2 robot reaches the front, pretty much SilverKronos can't do anything anymore. right now he maybe has a very small opportunity to kill this army and then to spread out his tanks everywhere. As long as Morax has only 1 or 2 Tech 2 bots, he can't really defend all his mass extractors. They are also slow and they can only be in one position at the same point. So it was maybe a very small timing where SilverKronos could have attacked and take everything. But the issue is of course that he does not know. But I think in this position he should still try. Like, he knows that he got more units here than he got. He doesn't know what's here, but chance is that if it's not in the front, then there is nothing. And at the same time, even if there is something, then it might work. And something that might work in his position is still already very good. Maybe more than he can ask for. Because he's so pushed back, he's not going to get many situations where he might lose. So he got gun, so with all the power he made, which is very nice. But Morax wanted to get gun as well, but he cancelled it in side of gun ACU from SilverKronos. With the SilverKronos has almost no health at all, but the fact that Morax went Tech 2 is punishing him a little bit now. Because he can only use his Tech 2 at the front, unless he has a few units. But if he tries to use it against the SCU, it will just get overcharged and he needs a critical amount of Tech 2 bots. And SilverKronos getting some reclaim here now, getting also a very nice radar. I think that's also very good when you use an aggressive SCU. No matter what the situation, you should always try to follow it with an engineer so you can make radar behind your SCU. So you can actually use it aggressive without fear of running into unknown territory, and you know when you can put pressure and when you have to retreat. But yeah, the Tech 2 bots going to be a real problem now. Like 3 of them, maybe 1 of them you can still defeat, but 3 of them, there isn't really any way he can defeat them. He should retreat his units, maybe try to use them on the side, kill his mass extractors, and use them together with his ACU when Morax can't really use his Tech 2 bot advantage while defending with point defense. Quite nice. But now also air incoming, and Morax not really doing that much health. Sorry, it's SilverKronos. Not really having that much health to really be a Rambo with his ACU. He's trying anyway, very brave. Or maybe the word is rather desperate, but now with the Tech 2 by defense, it's going to die. Unless he can overcharge it, and then overcharge all the Tech 2 bots, get a veterancy from it. What Morax need to try to do. Oh, did he overcharge Engis instead of by defense? Okay, so he's dying. Well, relatively short game. I think this point defense was really a bad idea. He needed units, he basically gave up complete map control just to get that point defense, and additionally that build order with the P-gens was inferior to Morax once. So I didn't think he played that much worse, except at point defense, it's more building related issues. And Morax played that quite well, even though I think his Tech 2 was a bit earlier, because there were very small opportunities where he could have lost map control again, and you don't really want, even if it didn't happen, you don't even want your opponent to give the possibility that he can do anything, and you want to make sure that you have secured your map control with Tech 1, and then you can still go Tech 2. But he won, and he played that well. He also ran away from the ACU, not risking a draw. And yeah, we can see the mass. Morax already got ahead very early. Okay, let's do the last game, and then I'm done. Thinking that I only wanted to do 1 cast. Okay, this is the first game now. So the last game we cast and the first game they played. for WWPC. I think under 1500 bracket, if I'm not mistaken. And both play their usual factions, SilverKronos as UEF and Morax as Cybran. It's been like that the whole game, the whole games, the whole tournament. SilverKronos preparing lots of power, because on this map you don't really need the mass, because each of the stones is worth a lot of mass, so you can live over the reclaim very long. And it's more important to very early build a lot of power, so you can use all the mass and a lot of build power as well. Morax doing similar thing here, a bit more ordered, while SilverKronos being more efficient, or more well, don't really know how to call it in English, I'm very sorry, but he's doing it very differently, as you can see. Efficient is the wrong word, however. So, very early lab from Morax. Not sure if that's so good. I think even if you kill an NG or something, then it won't really matter, because he will just reclaim somewhere else probably, unless he has like only one reclaim NG and then he will stall because that one dies. Or maybe if he gets into the base and manages to kill 5 NGs who are building power or something like that. But I think if you don't manage to do something like that, then the lab is not worth it, because even the second lab, such an early engineers, the first few minutes are really important, and if you already build 2 or 3 pigeons more in the first minutes, then it will snowball as well, because with the more power you can build even more power after that. So right now he's only building with his ACU, while SilverKronos is building with his ACU and 2 engines, and we can see that he will move ahead in power, and power is a bottleneck for everything on this map, because mass is unlimited pretty much for the first 10 or 15 minutes. And that means whoever has more power can produce more stuff, given that he also has the build power. And that means SilverKronos is already quite ahead. And he will be able to produce more things if he does not mess up and if he uses his power. And looks like he's going to do that quite well, starting second air. While Morax also going for second air right now, so both start the first thing there. Morax even planning a next air factory, but Morax already being almost as half power on SilverKronos, so right now he has the same amount of stuff, but in 2 minutes, similar as on Badlands, what I told there, he will have much less. He's already stalling very hard, so he would really need to build the power right now and not build factory, so only wait until he got the power so that he can afford building more factories. So because by building a factory right now he only makes it worse, he will have even less power than if he would build only power right now. I feel like I'm saying power quite a lot. Maybe try some energy. With SilverKronos, oh, he started a mass extractor. I'm not sure, but I think that's more. Yeah, he paused it. He couldn't spend his power. Starting two of them already. I don't think that's very good. I don't think mass extractor so early is a very good choice, because you don't really need mass. You have more than enough mass. And the only thing you need is lots of factories, so you can control the map. And it's not really about the mass extractors, but you can control all the mass fields and reclaim that. And that means you can save the mass in your base for later. You don't have to reclaim it yet. At some point your opponent, if he is pushed off the map, he will have to use this mass to fuel his production. And once it's gone, then he will be out of mass, while you will not be, because you will still have the mass in your base if you manage to reclaim the mass everywhere. And usually you try to drop enemies here, so because there's also a lot of mass on the 2 spots that are empty. And then you can also produce units from here and apply very much pressure. And yeah, these labs are killing the engines, but how I said, I think the damage is not that great. Like, he will probably have 3 or 4 kills on them, but SilverKronos can just reclaim somewhere else. He can just reclaim here or wherever the labs are not, and it will hurt him a little, but I don't think it hurts him more than Morax not having 2 very early NGs or 1 NG instead of 2 labs to assist the ACU building power. And he still almost only has half power income. And I think basically you can say half power income is half production in that case. Because he got 4 factories, in theory he could probably have 8 already with his power income. Even so he decides not to have that, he decides to do the mass extractors instead. But instead of the mass extractors, I think he could have also had already lots of factories. And early wasting power on this map is maybe worse than wasting mass. So he should try to use it. And with making these mass extractors and late land factories, he's really lacking engineers. So to spend the power that he made, he actually has to upgrade his mass extractors, but it's more the issue of not having enough engineers, so he can build his factories. And well, Morax decided to increase power production a bit, and he is actually building the factories more than SilverKronos, and looks like he catched up in power quite a bit. He started to assist more. And SilverKronos he stopped producing much. He stopped assisting his ICU. So if he doesn't produce more power again, then he would eventually stall if he tries to use mass. Or basically you could say you're always power stalling on this map in theory, because if you don't power stall, you just reclaim more until you power stall and try to use all the mass. And well, he got 3 air factories fast going, so Morax only got 2. Should hopefully get air control and do something with it. Otherwise it will be a really wasted investment. But he got the drop going here, so he will not run out of mass in near future. And will get that position. If he can get the other one as well, then and produce lots of factories. Like, it's not only about this mass, also if you make lots of factories here, you will also get all the mass here and here, all around these mountains. And now he starts making factories. Like, this is not really counting as factories, because this should make only engines. I think a good amount of factories to produce only engines is like 3 factories. He produce only engines on this map, so he got only 2. And these are only the factories that actually produce any units. But he's making up for it with his many air factories and doing bombers. But I think land factories would have been a bit better than so many air factories, because the bombers take forever to kill Mantis, especially UAF bombers, and he's not even having air control, so with the air it's much more risky than just lots of land. Even so, main thing he did is all the mass extractors, while I don't think Morax does the same. Oh, actually he does have 2 mass extractors as well, maybe 2 more, so both rather equaling. Even more mass extractors, stalling mass. I think what's very nice is on this map to always have an engineer close to mass, here somewhere. Maybe I usually try assist the mass extractor so the NG is not idle, because I don't want any idle NGs, won't have any of that, but so I always have an engineer too close to reclaim in case this happens, then I can always start to reclaim a bit. And once I have enough mass, I don't reclaim it anymore, so I save it for emergency reclaim. So Morax is actually able to push into the base of SilverKronos because he started so late making factories and distracting him a little bit. But looks like SilverKronos just made factories in time to stop this attack, otherwise he would have lost all these NGs who built factories, unless he bombs it themselves. And that would have been really bad for him, because if the engine died before they can make factories, then no matter how much mass and power he got, if he can't use it, then Morax can just keep pushing and reclaim everything. But he also got the second base and he's making lots of factories there, so it's not that bad. And if Morax does not react to that, then maybe the opposite situation will happen again as well. Even so, Morax went tech 2 and making hoplites, not sure about that. I think hoplites need a lot of attention and can't see what he's building. But I think this is not really a map where you have too much attention free. SilverKronos also dropped here, so unless Morax really spots it and sees it, and I don't think he's scouting too much. Scouting here now, and he's just now realizing that SilverKronos got already like 10 factories here. Not seeing this, otherwise he could maybe attack it and kill it, but if he does not do it now, it's going to be too late. Or if SilverKronos would make a point defense in combination with his 3 factories, he should be able to hold it. But looks like he spotted it somehow, and now going to kill it. Let's see if SilverKronos is going to manage to build a point defense. Trying to, but only with 2 engines here. Now with the next one, very fast reaction, and the nice thing is often when you need an emergent point defense you don't have mass, but in this map you have more than enough, so it's going really fast at a time. So Morax would need to try to take his Medusa out of range and bomb that while having the Mantis there, but it's a lot of attention and you need to do so much other stuff as well on this map that you often don't have that. SilverKronos deciding to go tech to air instead of tech to land. I think actually on this map you can just do both, you don't really need to do one, and I think he should also go tech to land, and he is. So very good decision for him in my opinion. Doing his template, I guess, with power, and this time this will not be too much power like on Badlands. But all these tech 1 units die to pretty much 3 or 4 rhinos, so the timing for tech 2 on Morax's side was really fortunate for him. And both still doing mix of eco and unit production. Morax had an eco, but it does not really mean anything as long as there's so much reclaim. And I think it's much more about who is able to secure the sides and then the center mass than about getting ahead in eco. It does not mean anything for a very long time. Morax getting tech 2 radar, I think that's very nice in the base to prevent any big drops or snipes. And he also should be quite careful because SilverKronos is making relatively much air. One second. And well, he did make a lot of air early, but now it's not that much anymore compared to game time. Even so, he is starting to increase production as well, so it's really nice. And you will need the air control to use this tech to air efficiently. And even some Morax got a lot of tech 2 factories. Sorry for the skip sounds, I think it should be done now. He doesn't have that many rhinos, so he would maybe need 5 or something in between to kill that army, but if that army would push in, it could actually get dangerous. Like, it's not like he would die, but maybe he would lose 1 tech to power gen or something like that, and that he only got 2, that would really put him much ahead, much behind. And in the meantime also he managed to still win that battle here. Sorry, I was a bit distracted, so I missed that. He still managed to secure this expedition while shooting with up. I think he could just push that. Does he know? He should know it because he's scouting very well. That's often what I realized, that SilverKronos is really good scouting. this whole games. And he's starting to put ahead really much right now because he spams a lot and he just upgraded all these factories to tech 3, so we have a big stream of units incoming. So, well, it's always dangerous that at some point of the game your reclaim in the base runs out, and if there's still a little bit left, but if you don't have engines everywhere on the map, like an example here, he reclaimed this already, then it's quite easy to fall into a point where there's still a reclaim on the map, but your engines are not there right now, and it's basically yours, it's under your control, but you're just not there. So need to prevent that situation by timing your engines and having them when you need them and send them out in time. But SilverKronos finally decided to attack, and looks like Morax went tech 3 as well, and he's going Wrath right now, so he maybe wants to go tech 3 air and will try to snipe him, or maybe only with Corsairs. Looks like he made a few. Maybe he realized he was losing and wanted to try to go for a Corsair snipe. So yes, here the tech 3 air comes. I think Cybrin is one of the best factions to snipe because he has the stealth strats, and that's really good if it goes around. But that's also one nice thing: if you have the side, then he can't fly around the side, and if you have units coming everywhere, it will also units give you also a lot of internet. And if you produce units everywhere, then it's very hard to snipe them. It's hard to sneak some bombers past. And also SilverKronos is scouting so well that he's seeing the text. Well, not yet. If he pays much attention, then he can see it, but I think it would be rather unlikely. But he will see it very early, and then he can just make more shields and eventually go tech 3 land and make some SAMs. I think trying to go tech 3 air is not the best idea because he can do that as well, but he will need power first for that. Actually, he got so much tech 2 power he could even do it like that. But if you're behind on tech 3 air, you make it later. Then you will have 2 intis or something when he will have 4 strats and 2 ASF. And that's usually not enough. Or if he makes 3 ASF, he will camp your factory and you will need a SAM anyway. And you don't really need tech 3 air. Counter a few strats. You probably need it if you would have 15 strats or something, but he can't make so many at that point of the game, and where he also just lost his whole base to ships. So I think it's pretty much over for him. And while SilverKronos won the first map, so I think that's out all games. Like he won, Morax won the second game, and SilverKronos won the first game on his map choice, and then he won the last 2 games. And well, it's mostly also power, and with his map choice it's a difficult map to play. If you are not used to it, then you can win it relatively easy if you know a bit, if you know how to balance your economy and how much power you need to build, if you have a better feeling, and it's very hard to have that if you don't play the map very often. So and that's probably what happened here. And it was rather easy for SilverKronos to win with his map choice. And especially important the 2 corners that Morax did not really try to drop and to get, so he basically gave them away for free. And he made it quite fast to switch, but then he didn't produce many tech 2 units because he was already pushed into his base, so he couldn't reclaim the map everywhere. Well, he also did just not have the great power management that you need on this map. So he does have the last defenders of his base fighting against the constant stream of units, but SilverKronos will probably finish it with air soon. I don't think he can actually finish it with land too soon because the bricks are just too strong against tech 1 and tech 2 as well, if microed properly. but without any anti-air, even take one bomber is not going to be enough to finish this game for SilverKronos, who looks like is going to be the new champion, if he wasn't the old one already. But I think Morax was. Oh, what a nice moon we have. And the brick still buying a little bit more time. That looks really nice. With the air flying above it. And Morax base in shambles. But sorry that I see such beauty in his defeat. Nothing personal there, the gunships are going to finish him off. While I think the bombers are bombing the Tech 3 factory, so he can't produce anything. And he can't even produce anti-air. Because the bomber kills the anti-air already in production. Even so, the anti-air would kill the bomber very easily, but it can't get done. Switching to the anti-air, so he can't finish it, and the bricks are not going to help against that. Yeah, he says he went actually too fast, and he did, so he had not many Tech 2 units, but I think even without the Tech 3, he kind of was very behind in terms of power and in terms of also Tech 1 already. It's not like he went Tech 2 too fast, but he didn't manage to get map control already before he went Tech 3, so I think that was not great, but I think he would still have a hard time winning and would have to pull something out of his head to get advantage back. Okay, so much about my one cast that turned out to be before. Thanks for watching, maybe again leave some feedback, not sure how good that is. That casting, and so there were some quite nice games. This one was maybe a bit one-sided, the last one as well, but the first two were quite interesting and well played from both players, and I enjoyed watching them. I hope you did too. Thanks, bye bye.